Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I am your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And guys, we are here this week to preview and review Garro.
We did it. We were successfully able to read 129 pages in a week, guys. We're
Goddamn
still on
right,
it.
where I almost didn't make it. I finished this book 2 hours ago.
Just kind of shows, like, you remember when we were reading like Vengeful Spirit? Was that a three-parter? I think we did it in two. Like, I think we fucking champed it out and did it
I
in
don't,
two.
yeah, we might have, but man, that was a bad one. The problem is, I have a kid now, so I don't get to read as much as I used to.
It's getting
And
harder.
the audiobook was worth way more money than the actual book was for this one. And I was like, I am not going to spend $19 to listen to this book.
So I read the afterword of
I
this
also
book,
read the afterward.
and it talked a lot about how, like, and maybe there's like Garro books that we missed, but like
Yeah,
Garro.
I was like, did we miss like, are there some like really cool audio dramas of Garro that we just don't know about?
Yeah, apparently, like I knew this was a thing, but I didn't realize that we were missing so much of it. But audio dramas are like a big deal, and I feel like that'd be way cooler to listen to. The whole heresy, horse heresy is like audio drama,
Yeah, if there was actually like sound effects and shit happening, like that'd be awesome.
multiple voice actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just read this one. It was I read it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I liked it. I like that we have a conclusion of a character.
Yeah, I have my thoughts. I didn't think it was bad. Well, before we get into it,
Yeah, as always, guys, hit us up on Discord. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at the heresiLodge at gmail.com. Tweet us at Heresy. Yeah, tweet us at Heresy Lodge. Buy our merch. I'm wearing the sweatshirt right now with one of our logos. Drinking out of my pint glass. Buy the merch. Feed my child. Get Gavin married. Maybe buy him a house here.
or not. What are you drinking out of your Heresy Lodge pint glass?
Out of my Heresy Lodge pint glass, I am drinking from Metazoa Brewing here in Indianapolis, Indiana, the Barktoberfest.
Ooh,
I didn't know they had an Oktoberfest. I saw it at the store earlier. It's good.
it's
Not the
good.
best, not the worst. It's a solid Oktoberfest.
Well, I am also drinking an Oktoberfest.
It's the season. We're in October. It's October 6th, Gavin.
Tis the season. So I'm drinking what I would now consider to be my favorite Oktoberfest of all time.
All time.
All time. This is
You bringing me
phenomenal.
some?
I'm bringing you some tomorrow.
All right.
Drop some off. If there's some left, I might have to swing by the brewery.
If I don't get some goddamn Oktoberfest, I'm going to be pissed.
I think I'm gonna definitely pour myself another one, but I'll at that point I'll only have one left. This is from Blue Stallion. It's the one I was talking about last week that I couldn't get. You want to hear the cutest thing, dude? We did the podcast. I was talking the podcast. Man, I wish I had Oktoberfest. And after the podcast, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Blue Stallion. I'm gonna get myself some Oktoberfest. And Katie like arrived at that time. The podcast ended, and she was like, hey, can you help me out get the groceries? So I went down. She's like, oh, by the way, I stopped by Blue Stallion and got some Oktoberfest for you. It's like my heart.
This is why we're getting fucking married. All
This
right.
is
I'm
the
locking this
reason.
shit down.
Some mind reading right there. And it's phenomenal. Blue Stallion's like a big German brewing company here in Lexington. And damn, they just knock it out of the park. Big fan.
Man,
Um,
I love German beer. Germans have done a lot of fucked up shit in history, but man, they make some good fucking beer.
can't knock them for the beer. It's like they really try to make up for it with their beer and
I'll forgive anyone for some beer.
I didn't want to say anything, but like pretty fucking good beer. I don't know. um, I'm also going tomorrow. I'll be in Indianapolis, going to the Brewfari uh thing at the zoo. So there's like 50 breweries there. Very excited
That's
for
cool. I'm going to Zubu.
that. Yes, that's a
Just
thing.
Zubu, not the brewery one. Just Zoo Time Halloween.
now, but without beer.
Yeah, without all the, I mean, I think they might have some stuff at night. I don't know. It
We'll
is what
see.
it is. I just do what
Good
I'm
luck.
told to do and I show up.
This one is adults only, so it's probably going to be a lot better than the Zubu.
Probably.
We'll
I, I,
see.
I have a feeling you might be right.
So you read Garro, I read Garro, and you liked it. You enjoyed it.
I did. So I guess this first half will go spoiler free, and then it probably won't even be half. It'll be like the first like 10 minutes here will
Mhm.
be spoiler free, and then we'll spoiler it, and then we'll just talk because I can't imagine there's enough material here.
Yeah. So Garro, Nathaniel Garro has had a journey. If I if I added it up, I think that Nathaniel Garro has had the most page time out of any character in the Horse Heresy.
Um, I don't know, man. They really suck Sanguinius's teeth as
I
far
almost was
as
going to say Rogel Dorn.
time mentioned. I don't think so because I mean, if you think about Sanguinius, right? He had
I feel like he plays such a minor role. Like he's always like barely there, other than
I mean,
Fear.
there's Fear to Tread. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, it'd be interesting, right? Because he's in Master of Mankind. He's in all the entire Imperium Secunda stuff. He's being brought up in the siege. He had that really shitty book with dicks on the inside.
Ruinstone. I don't know. I think if you look at the amount of stories, like Nathaniel
Maybe
Garland,
POV, probably Garro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like Sanguinius maybe appeared in more books, but like the most story time that we've actually gotten from like a POV or like about a character, I think Garro takes the cake.
Although he's only in really this is his second and a half book.
Well,
He's in a
he's
lot of short
no, he
stories.
he basically is like the secondary main character in the Buried Dagger.
Right.
He's
Buried
in
Dagger,
Flight of
Flight of
Iron,
Eisenstein are his two
Einstein.
books. And then
He You see
the
him in his own book, Garro,
he has an anthology Garro.
which
Then
is
he has
literally
another.
all
Then
about
he has a
Garro.
novella Garro.
Yeah. I think he's been in a lot. I'm just saying that, like, when it comes to impactful characters, Garro's been here. He's
Yeah.
been here since the beginning. And it's really, really cool to see James Swallow recognize like all of the like authors that are not writing in the heresy yet, but we're not writing in the Siege of Terror, I feel like are very dedicated to like long-term characters. And
Yeah.
that's been one of the biggest weaknesses of the Siege of Terror so far. And all the authors that like it are writing like novellas in the Siege of Terror,
Yep.
or they're excluded entirely, like Nick Kine. I'm like, what is
Who?
happening? So yeah, it's cool to see James Swallow close the loop on Garro's storyline.
Yeah, and I like my favorite thing about it being James Swallow to finish is he's the one that's done everything Garro, and he actually talks about that in the afterward where he's like, like I left like things open, but then I realized I want to be the one that talks about Garro.
Yeah, he's like, this is my character, which like I really appreciate an author doing. And I hope more authors do that because yeah, you can't claim the Emperor, you can't claim Horus, but like I'm gonna make a character and I'm gonna write about that character.
Yeah,
Um
honestly, I kind of wish like the entire perpetual storyline that Dan Abnett started was only written by Dan Abnett
a
because there's
hundred
been
percent.
like some of the shit that's happening right now with the perpetuals. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this is not how I imagined that they were gonna go. And like, we aren't even like big like Dan Abnett fanboys, but I mean, we like him. He's good. But like, he established these characters, the storylines, the short stories, and it's like, yeah. So all is like, I don't know, doing whatever the fuck he wants. He was a war master. It's like, okay,
And then
I guess.
Alfarius is working with all.
Yeah, randomly.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's really cool to see an author like own a character. And it has its detriments because when those authors don't get recognition, you don't see those characters. Like ADB is about the right Saturnine. I guarantee you, if you ask
Not about
ADB,
the right Saturnine. Saturnine was already written, and that was
I'm
by
sorry,
Dan.
Echoes of Eternity. It confuses me because for some reason, like Saturnine, for some reason, makes me think Sanguinius, but Sanguinius is on the cover of Echoes of Eternity.
I'm pretty sure Sanguinius sees the most FaceTime on all the covers of the Siege of Terra.
Exactly. Yeah. So ADB is about to write Echoes of Eternity, and I'm pretty sure if it was up to ADB, Sevatar would be a character in fucking Siege of
He
Terra.
fucking should be.
Yeah. And then like Dan or Graham McNeil, like as much as like sometimes we really shit on Graham McNeil's stories, like he would love to write about Lucius, and he's probably super confused why Lucius was not in Saturnine, but he's
Yeah,
the person that established that character, and it's such a good character.
he's very good. I mean, Lucius was there in Horus Rising.
Yeah, by Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, where the fuck's Lucius? So I'm on Lucius watch right now.
I'll tell you one thing. I did open up the cast list to Warhawk, and there was one character in there that I was like, oh, thank God this person is there because I didn't think they were going to bring this person up.
Is it Lucius?
It's Erebus.
Who?
Erebus.
I figured him and God damn it, what is this Primarch's name?
Lorgar.
Lorgar, Jesus Christ. I don't know how I forgot that. And Corfarion, we're all fucking around on one random planet by themselves. Like,
Nope.
there's no one of us anymore.
Erebus is making his way to the siege. So that's one character. One character. I don't know. We'll see how it works. And of course, Chris writes the one that's like, hey guys, we should probably talk about Erebus. So here we are at Garro. If you don't know about Garro, then you probably haven't been around for a lot of the Horus Heresy, which is fine, which is fine. Garro
Or
is the
you
first.
only read mainline books and didn't know there were 75 audio dramas that apparently some got put into novellas.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Was Garro a character in Galaxy and Flames? I think he was mentioned.
Yes, because the Eisenstein left. They mentioned the Eisenstein leave, and they mentioned Garro being introduced.
He was friends with
I don't
Salt.
know if it was in Galaxy. I think it was Galaxy and Flames. He
Yeah.
walks in, or he talks to Loken in like the hall or something like that, and they're
He's like
talking.
really good friends with Saul Tarvitz. That's the
Yeah,
dude that like introduces Garro to the A team.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so he is supposed to be hilariously the dude that sends the heraldry, the oh, this the Horus has betrayed the Emperor message to Dorne and then ipso facto to Terra. The funny part about that whole thing is like we kind of learned that like everyone already knew through and that was all Graham McNeil and
Our
Outcast
favorite book of all time.
where it's like, oh yeah, we received the message and the timeline's messed up because Magnus is a thing, but don't worry about it.
It happened 2 years, like 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Outcast Dead. That's the name of that book.
yep. So, he escaped with some Death Guard and he made it to Terra. And interestingly enough, obviously the Death Guard, since they were a traitor legion, that group that escaped were not treated very well. Garro was given some leniency. And I always was kind of confused as to why. And I think this book actually did a really good job spelling it out as to why the rest of the Death Guard were kind of treated like prisoners. And Garro just kind of got to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, so we started working with Malkador, basically building the foundations to what would become the Grey Knights. But Garro himself was not a Grey Knight.
Yep. That
He,
Aaron.
yeah, he got. Was Garro given the option to become a Grey Knight or no?
Yes. And he said no.
I know Loken said no. I don't know if Garro was
Oh
given
yeah,
the
maybe. I
option.
think Becador was like, "You're not gonna take this anyway, so later."
Yeah, Garro basically started acting very independently, and it was super badass. That was like the time that I was like, okay, Garro's actually a really cool character because he was basically a space marine that was like, I have a set of morals, and he was like one of the first space marines, if not the first space marine, to worship the Emperor as a god. Sigismund is like right up there in a tie. Um,
Yeah. I kind of wish there was more interaction of those two, and like I would have really enjoyed kind of them. Like we had that in Garro, the first Garro book,
yeah,
that like they kind of like chatted, but they didn't really like go like deep into their beliefs, but it was just kind of like an understanding between the two that they were in the same place. I would have liked an actual conversation of those two, like, you know,
at the siege.
how like you came to this conclusion, something.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And Garro at that point, especially during this time where he was like pursuing Euphrates Keeler and pursuing his faith and all that stuff, like he very much so became a gray slate, like the only gray slate space marine. And essentially that he didn't really have a higher power that he reported to other than what he believed was his own authority. And he was a badass. Like he was slaying demons, he was fucking doing cool shit. And I used to not stand Garro, and over time I really kind of he grew on me because I was like, this guy's actually just like doing shit that I wish other Space Marines would do.
Did we ever hear like where the fuck his sword came from?
I don't think so.
Because like in this book, it kind of like talks about like, oh, it's kind of like ancient tech type of deal, and it's just like, where the fuck did he get it? I'm very interested because it's always like, oh, Libertas cuts fucking everything.
It was an old Terran weapon. Elements have existed before the birth of its wielder, and even predates the fall of mankind and the coming of Old Night. It's all we know.
Did he fucking just like find it in a dumpster one day? It was like, I name you Libertas, and
It's
we
said in
shall
this
fuck.
book it was like gifted to him by like a group of people that previously armored the Death Guard, from what I understood.
Yeah, confusing, I guess, but they were the Dusk Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Um, Garro also had a very strong bond with Euphrates Keeler, who was the saint, the first person to really, well, she actually wasn't the first person to worship the Emperor as a god. That was easily the word bearers.
It was the first person granted powers from it, though.
Yeah, weirdly enough, the Emperor was like, I'm not cool if you weird bald dudes do it, but this chick, hell yeah, here's my Emperor powers.
Emperor's like, yo, look, I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah. He's like, can I make you a perpetual? Because I lost my last one. Mm.
I lost my last one. I left the other one on my leg. So I need another woman in my life.
I'm gonna go ahead and sign some prenup this time, though. I hope you understand. Oh,
That's a
that's
good
great.
call, Biggie. You own a lot of stuff.
A lot of assets.
I get half the legionaries.
She got Lee 2 in the deal. What the fuck is that? So that's Garro. Is there anything else important about Garro that we're missing? I mean, he's a big character.
Before, why the fuck
Tell me.
does Typhus randomly have the name the Traveler? Well, where did he travel?
I don't know. I'm really hoping that like Typhus in general just fucking gets obliterated at
He's
Warhawk.
really annoying.
He is such an annoying character. He's on the same level of annoying as Erebus. He's
I mean,
just
he was even annoying in Flight of Eisenstein. Was like, why does Erebus get all the attention? I found the Chaos Gods first.
yeah. And Mortarion, anytime Typhus is involved in Mortarion's storyline, he just makes Mortarion look like a fucking baby.
Yeah, he definitely makes Mortarion look like a little bitch.
And like Typhus just really pushes Mortarion's buttons, and Mortarion does nothing about it. It's so
It's
sad.
kind of like the same relationship with like Corfarion and Lorgar, but at least like Corfarion was, Lorgar's daddy.
Yeah, and Lorgar's also like, yeah, Corfarion thinks he's cool, but he kind of fails at the greatest space battle ever fought of all time. So I'm kind of done with him.
Yeah, where like Mortarion's like, yeah, Typhus was my best friend. Now he's not, but I
And then
guess I'll let him follow me.
Mortarion got the shit beat out of him by Typhus and a demon at the same time. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, that's so weak. Like,
Yeah.
Sanguinius fist fought two greater demons at the same time.
Goddamn right he did. And he killed him.
He killed him. He fucking won that battle, by the way. Oh man. Yeah. This every single story with Mortarion just makes him look so weak, and like every time you see him fighting, it just talks about how physically strong he is. But I'm like, I feel like one really good insult could just take this man down.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't understand like why he's so strong, right? He's just like tall, like lanky looking dude. Like I don't get like strong guy from him. Like, sure, like have your resilient thing. I don't give a shit. I want a strong man. I'm gonna fucking Vulcan.
I'm going with Volvo. or or Porto Rabo or somebody that's like big and
Yeah, I want a
strong.
big strong man. I ain't going to Mortarion. I want a little bitch boy then maybe.
He's gonna write in his diary about his feelings and how tight he's got like a bunch of like parts around drawings of typhus. If only he knows how I truly feel. I guarantee you that there is some R34 shit about typhus and Mortarion.
Oh, 100%. If there's any way, any connection that maybe there's a little tension, there's a drawing of them fucking.
Yeah, I get that, and I feel the tension. I feel like typhus is the top.
Oh, he's definitely at the top. There's no way Mortarion's the top.
Yeah, typhus is the top. So we get into the book, and
Let's get into the book.
let me tell you my feelings about the book first.
Yeah, tell me. I am more than interested in hearing your thoughts.
I really did like exactly what he said. I love that Garro has an ending. I love that. Like when we rank character, like at the end of this entire series, I plan to rank character storylines because I really think that will explain why the Horus Heresy was so kind of meh
Yeah.
at the end of the day. But Garro is going to be a good one. The downside here is that the book was 129 pages, and 70 of the pages was a fist fight between Garro and Mortarion.
That's fair, yeah.
And the other half of the book was just really deep conversations with Euphrates Keeler that were not that interesting, in my opinion.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that Garo and Euphrates were reunited.
Yes, that was important to the story. I mean,
Um,
Euphrates has connections with Garro and Loken and Cinderman has connections with Garro and Loken and Euphrates, and I'm glad that they recognized at least one of those relationships.
yeah. I think it's kind of cool that they brought in the other Death Guard guy that was left from the Eisenstein, and his like thing was like, look, I didn't have a fucking choice whether I wanted to stay with the Death Guard or not. You just kind of took us. I thought that was I think that was a cool
That
conversation.
was a great conversation. That was amazing because it really framed like what why the Death Guard were treated like they were. Why some like what was his name? It was
Garthu, something like
Group
that.
not
Starts with a G.
Grugalore.
What?
Not Grugalore. I don't know why I'm thinking Grugalore.
No, not Google or Gartha.
I can't remember his name, but he was lamenting to Garro. He's basically saying, like, look, like you're gonna go and you're gonna be the martyr. You're gonna just make a decision, but like you think that just because you're the leader, like you get to literally decide for everyone else. And like we followed you because you were the captain of the ship. And we went through all of these things because that's the decision you made for us. And Carl's like, yeah, but it's the right decision. He's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But here you are going to make another one, another decision. And it's like everyone else has to deal with the fallouts of your decision. While you get to go around and be knight errant and fucking
Yep.
just ride around like some doing whatever the fuck you want. And
Yep.
everyone
And
else
you
is
had the
dealing
other Death Guard who were literally imprisoned on the moon.
with yeah.
While Garo's dicking around in his special little gray suit doing whatever Malkador wants him to do.
I find this so interesting because it got me thinking. I was like, oh, this makes sense because why didn't Malkador make all of the Death Guard knight errants? Well, probably because not all of them were loyal to the Emperor at the end
Yeah.
of the day. They probably had some sentiment. It was like, oh yeah, we were on the ship, but I kind of wish we weren't. I would have sided with Mortarion. And this character, Gar- Garthu, whatever his
Whatever it
name is,
was, yeah.
I find it so interesting because he was a knight errant.
Yeah.
And he was the only other one that was made a knight
Well,
errant.
he's the only one that's left, right? Weren't the other ones
Yeah.
killed and like the doctor was like experimenting and died?
A handful of them we have seen die. There was a group of them that actually went with the Silent Sister. Remember when we thought it was like the start of the Inquisitor deal when
Yep.
she moved Exterminatus, but not we haven't seen all of them die. I would assume that they died when Horus took over the moon. Be my thought, but I also don't know because there are still Silent Sisters,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
they're
that too.
yeah. So, but he's the only other one that was made a knight errant, and I wonder what the criteria were because it kind of seems like what he was telling Garro was like, I probably wouldn't have chose this.
Yeah, which also is kind of interesting for the other perspective too, right? Like you had the group that Mortarion assumed would follow him, the ones on the ground to kill his own kind. Like how many of them actually like they were given the choice, how many would have stayed?
Yeah. It's interesting because I do feel as if the Death Guard in general are one of the legions that had a very large contingency of their legion remain loyal to the Emperor.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other ones like
Well, the Iron Warriors had a lot because
well, Iron Warriors are very independent thinkers.
they really are. So they had to blow up
um
the whole planet there. Um, I know for a fact that the Night Lords had none. Like there was not a single person who gave a fuck.
well, there was just that one guy who was like, look, I don't fuck with anybody. Why the fuck am I a knight errant?
He's like, I don't like the Emperor, but I also really don't like Sevatar.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Savitar fucked my asshole, and I don't like that.
So I'll side with the Emperor, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm like, there's what, two Sons of Horus that we know of.
well,
Um,
I mean, I think a lot of Sons of Horus were killed in Isfahan,
that's true.
but in a lot of Emperor's children. But I think overwhelmingly, a large percentage of the Death Guard, a large percentage of Iron Warriors
There's
were
like pro one world eater.
the world leaders were just killing each other for fun. There were definitely world leaders that were loyal, but like
Yeah, we
I
saw one and he died.
yeah, and Angron was probably just like, fuck it, like let's put half of them down because that sounds like a much more fair fight. How are we gonna organize them, sir? How do we know who's loyal and not loyal? He's like,
Pick a
if they
number.
surrender, fucking kill them.
Look, make everyone pick a number. Anyone that's even, we're gonna fucking kill
Here we go. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I think obviously the word bearers, like there were not a lot of loyal word bearers. The only problem they have is like the religious aspect. But after Nicaea, a lot of them are just
They're a little
switched.
mad.
Yeah, they're pretty pissed off, which I totally get, by the
Yeah, I
way.
mean, Narek is really the only one, and even like
Not
he's
Nicaea.
like a gray line.
It wasn't Nicaea. It was
Yeah,
Monarchia. Monarchia.
yeah, Monarchia.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a great conversation. Um, the battle between Mortarion and Garro was really interesting. And what one thing I really liked that James Swallow did do was like gave this hint that like Mortarion wasn't 100% gone. Every single person that writes about a traitor Primarch always does this shit though. Like,
Yeah,
oh, it's like this is their last strand of humanity. But in this frame of reference, it made so much
it
sense.
does.
Like Garro was the one son that Mortarion respected that didn't turn with him.
Yeah, and like just for a reference for those that maybe didn't read the Horus Heresy, in Flight of Eisenstein, Mortarion picked fucking Garro to stay because originally he was supposed to go, but he got hurt
It's fun.
at Isfahan like during like the first raid before the traitor stuff happened, and he was like, I want him to stay here. Like, I think I can make him join our side. And then
didn't.
Typhon's like, no, 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 no. Garro's a bitch. Turns out he might not be a bitch, but he's very loyal.
Very loyal. If anything, Typhon's a bitch.
He's a
Mortarian's
very big
definitely a
bitch.
bitch. There's so much like there are moments in this novel. I'm like, I just love this part of the story. I love this part about Garl. Like when he sees Mortarion for the first time, I just like get these like chills because Garl's like, I know exactly what he's gonna say, and Garl's just like, what happened? Like what happened to you?
Yeah. I think my favorite scene of this book is when Mortarion brings up the two glasses of the poison,
The goblets.
right? Yeah, and he gives it to Garro, and Garro just like instinctively takes it, and he's staring at it, and he's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, you get this moment though, like you get this strange moment as a reader where you're like, oh my god, is Garro gonna fucking drink this goblet? And you're like, no way, no way. Garro would never. Garro would never.
Yeah.
And Garro's line, like it's so good. James Hole writes Garro so well, where Garro just looks at Materi and he's like, I didn't want to do this. It's like I didn't want to fight you.
Also, this stuff tastes like ass. I'm not gonna drink it.
But also, bro, like this is fucking weird. Why are you so weird? Like the Dust Raiders were totally fine before you showed up with your emo ass drinking poison. Who the fuck does that, Mortarion?
That shit's
You're
weird, man.
weird, bro.
I thought the fucking space wolves in their leather, like jerking each other off and drinking wine was weird, but this shit, it's weirder.
Now you guys are like fucking flies. Like what? Like come on, dude.
No one's ever been like, wow, that fly's really cool. Flies are pests. We hate flies.
Flies suck. Everyone fucking hates flies.
The
Like,
fact that
what
there's
the-
other planets with flies is fucking stupid. You know why? Because that means that fly snuck up on a fucking ship. All right. And then it fucking reproduced.
Do you realize how stupid you are, Mortarion? Look at this shit. You have fucking that dude over there. It looks like he's got diabetes, Mortarion. You've been your entire legion diabetes. Look how stupid you are. That guy's throwing up, and that's his gun. He throws up on people, Mortarion. What are you fucking doing here, Legion?
Shit's stupid. I don't want to join that. I'm not drinking your bullshit.
Oh my gosh. You call your god granddaddy? That's weird, bro. That's weird. I was gonna take you to a garden. This sounds strange, Mortarion. Listen to your words, man. We were totally fine. I was like popping on the Xenos. I was having a great fucking time. You're like, kill the psychers. I was like, down. I was fucking murdering those psychers. But then you talking about granddaddy in the garden and fucking flies. I'm like, man,
So many flies.
this guy's went.
These motherfuckers killed the Lord of Flies 3 times.
There was a moment.
He's like, God damn it, I'm so sick of this shit.
That's the speech Garro should have given him. Mortarion, by the way. That's not what actually happened.
James, you really missed it.
Listen, fucking Angron is slaughtering people, and it's awesome. You look like a fucking moth, bro. you got the bad end of the stick, amigo.
And you smell like ass. All right, deodorant. It's a fucking thing. We've had it for generations.
Fulcrum looks like a snake and does sexual depraved things that I would totally be down to do. You're fucking flies. Think about that.
It's fucking stupid. Who voted for this?
What
We need a democracy because this would have passed.
This is the worst. You are the worst Legion now. It's already pretty bad because you're kind
Look,
of a
we
fucking.
shit on the word bearers constantly, but what the fuck, man?
This is weird. I would rather hang out with Night Lords. uh, First, you take away Taco Tuesdays. Oh man. So that is funny. Speaking of the Lord of Flies, they have this battle, and I want to talk about the battle, but the outcome, I was like, there was a moment where Mortarion was clearly beating Garro. Spoiler alert, if you
I
didn't.
would have never expected that to happen.
And Mortarion's like, oh, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to turn you into the Lord of Flies. And Garro just like, no. But the way I really read that was like, no.
Yep, agreed.
It's like literally
There
talks.
would be a model. That's how I knew.
Well, not only did I know that, but like immediately Garro, he did think this, and it was in the book, and it was like kind of funny to me. It was like, I fucking killed that dude like 3 times. He's like, you would be wasting my talents, Mortarion, if you turned me into the Lord of Flies. I killed it. Like this dude is worthless. Like I've slaughtered this. I'm just a space marine. Like that would be so stupid to turn me into the Lord of Flies.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of like that aspect, but yeah, you're right. Like just a normal. I mean, I guess he's above average.
He's above average,
He's a captain.
Yeah.
That apparently Typhus is the one that promoted.
Yeah. Typhus did promote him apparently.
That was
Who
a
did?
random
I don't know.
weird conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fight shit kicked out of him, which I mean, that's expected with a Primarch.
Yeah, Mortarion and Garro. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that Garro lasted as long as he did.
Well, he got help.
Yes. But to be fair, like Mortarion was also, I can't stand Mortarion. He like fought him, and then Garro's like, oh, he's playing with me. I'm like, wow, what a fucking Fulgrim thing to do.
Yep.
And you're gonna fucking shit on Fulgrim at Olenor for being too predictable, for being too frilly, and you're gonna make a show out of killing a space marine, like bro.
Hey man, it was symbolism. It was for Papa Nurgle, the
I
grandfather.
I gotta impress granddaddy. gotta gotta make sure granddaddy's happy. And the flies are around me. They're
There's so many flies, man. I gotta make them fucking
flies.
happy.
Gotta give them a show.
And you have Typhus over there, just like kill him, fuck him up.
Hey, bro, just fucking. It's not that big a deal. No one's watching. This is embarrassing, dude. Just kill them.
You're
The flies
Primarch.
don't care. They're coming back to me, bro.
I'm the true leader. Mothman.
They're calling me the traveler now. Don't know if you know that.
Don't know what the fuck it means, but it's kind of cool.
I'm the guy. Just fucking kill him. I'd kill him so fast, bro. He's like sitting there on the battle barge, which by the way, I don't know what is. It's supposed to be like,
Man, I think what James should have done here is actually had Typhus versus Garro first. Garro killing Typhus, Typhus being reanimated, whatever, and then fighting Mortarion just because I want someone to fucking punch Typhus in his stupid fucking face.
I hope someone does. I hope someone in Warhawk just fucking wrecks Typhus. That would be amazing.
It's like the Lucius moment with Loken, right? Like when Lucius is a super cocky motherfucker and Loken literally just punches him in the nose. Like that's what I need for Typhus. Because
Yeah,
he needs humbled.
that would be great. Because I can just imagine him over here on this battle barge, like talking to like the Terminators. He's like, dude, the car would be fucking dead right now if I was over there. Like Mortarion kind of fucking sucks, right? Like you see
Yeah,
that?
man, this is a pussy. Like what? Also, I feel like a scythe is a shitty weapon. I
I
don't.
totally agree. Like 1,000,000%. It makes no sense why the scythe is used. Like the scythe is a shitty weapon. Like everyone knows in a battle scenario, like the best way to beat a scythe is just to walk like into like the arc,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
the idea is like,
Take the wood.
Yeah, like once you get past a certain point, it's like you can't really do anything with the scythe.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. It's the whole thing's always weird because guns exist. Like, why are we sword fighting, guys? Like, we have fucking bullets,
Literally at
big bullets.
one point, Mortarion like throws away the lantern. It's like
Yeah,
it's gonna be done. Historic style.
in
And
the
I just
old ways,
remember
baby.
the best scene from the worst book, the shit, not Old Earth, Born of Flame, was when they do this challenge thing, and then the Night Lord from over on the side just fucking shoots the guy.
He's
It's
like,
like, we're
Connor.
gonna do this in the old ways. And the best thing is some random Night Lord on the side just fucking shoots Garro in the head. It's like, yeah, I wasn't gonna deal with that. That was weird. We got guns.
You know we have bullets, right? Like these exist.
That was some weird shit, Mortarion. Let's just fucking shoot him and be done with it.
And even like when like Gar's like walking out with this challenge, like, man, they could just fucking shoot me.
Yeah, it's literally like, wow, I'm really banking on them being really dumb right now.
Like they have like missiles and shit, and I'm just walking in the open.
There's a fucking Titan right there.
All I've done is told Motarion he's a pussy. That's all I've done. And they haven't shot me yet. This is weird.
And like you have Typhon literally sitting there. This is the exact same scenario we talked about it last week with the Austin Powers skit,
Yep.
where it's like Mortarion's like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna fucking attack him through the flames and make him drink from the goblet and do some crazy shit. And Typhon's like, I got a fucking gun in my
Like, why don't we shoot him? He's
I'm
walking
going.
in the open. There was no blockers. This is a straight shot.
I'll take the gat right now and just pop, pop. He's gone. Like, why are we doing this? You're such a bad villain.
God damn it, Warhammer. You have guns.
Use the guns.
I don't understand. Why are they so shitty on the tabletop? Why do my bolters do no damage?
My favorite part is who was it that wrote Saturnine? Not Saturnine.
Man,
The End of the Death. Not the End of the Death. Son of a bitch.
is it
The
a book we've
Lost,
read?
the Lost and the Damned.
Gathorpe.
Gav Thorpe. That's this guy. No, this is Guy
This
Haley.
is James Swallow.
James Swallow.
I think it was Guy Haley that wrote Lost in the Dam.
Let me just open up another one.
I have already opened my second one.
So as they were writing that, the best part is like Angron, the Primarch that just melee shit to death, dies like 6 times. He's like, yeah, we have to give Angron an invincibility potion because we have guns, and I'm gonna use them on Angron because that's what I would do.
I still think it'd be really fucking funny if like they killed Angron and literally there's just like someone with like a cannon, and every time he started like regenerating, they just shot it again.
Well,
Reload.
he hasn't been here for like 4 books. He's not in Warhawk. So I'm assuming someone is doing that. Like I'm pretty
I fucking
sure
hope so. It's been 4 hours. Shoot him again.
like if he shows up in Echoes of Eternity, I hope like the beginning scene is like some fucking trooper just sitting there with a giant ass cannon, like, all right, we've kept Angron busy for a week and a half.
It's literally just like every like X amount of hours they shoot it again. Like, all right, we got another 6 hours, guys.
That would be an amazing scene that I know is not
There's like
there.
a little picket fence around the spot. Do not cross.
So the battle between Garro and Mortarion is very melodramatic. Mortarion does win. Garro does die.
Yep. But
But
not before, the saint gave him extra powers to survive a little longer.
it's a little bit. And he dies, and he gets to see the Emperor in the afterlife, which is a very different story than what we saw with Mohana Mankati Vai, who got ripped apart by demons for all eternity, which sucks for her. I don't know. Very different.
Yeah, that's very true. But she wasn't a believer.
I would love to see like John French, who Who wrote Titan Death? Was it John French?
No, Titan Death was that guy Haley?
What him? It
Yeah,
was Haley. I would love to see Guy Haley and James
okay.
Swallow sit down and talk about what the afterlife in Warhammer 40K looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It kind of also goes into like, well, just like beliefs, right? Like, I mean, they say now, like you say, you see the light at the end of the tunnel or whatever. Like that's your brain like comprehending death. I mean, maybe that's what's happening here. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I never died. Hopefully, I don't die for a long, long time.
You know what I'm gonna see at the end of that tunnel?
Dicks on the inside. I hope.
Double dildo flail titan.
God damn! If I see the double dildo flow titan, I'm running
I'm
towards that shit because it got great.
running towards the end of that tunnel. I'm getting
We,
there.
I had a conversation. I think it was with Ryan. It was
Yeah.
we were talking about that. I was like, all right, look, it's got the butt plug gun in the back. That makes sense. And a giant ram right between its legs.
Beautiful.
It's got to cover all sides.
Yeah. At that point, it's fully invincible. There's no attack.
There is no penetrating.
No, there's penetrating, just not on that side. that Titan's definitely the top.
Goddamn right it is. There's no power bottoms here.
Yeah. So Garro, I did enjoy it. I thought it was. Is it Galor? Is that his name? Galor?
Baby. You could say it starts with a G. GA. That's all I
got
got.
I got it right here. I don't even know why.
I guess I could have pulled it up on my phone a long time ago because I had the
It's
Kindle.
literally right here. I think it's Galor. That's gonna be my
That
bet.
might be it.
Galor, hella Galor. It's cool to see that Galor lived, but I think Galor is gonna quickly become a salamander, and they're never gonna talk about him again.
I hope that's not true, but like especially because before Garro went out and sacrificed himself, he gave the Leticio Divinatus to him. Like I would like to see another
So would I.
Astartes believer.
I would love that too, but I doubt it.
This is true. I mean, they know how to fuck us.
Let me move Magnus and check Warhawk and see if Galor is in Warhawk. He is not.
We'll never see him again then.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know, man. I'm really holding out hope for ADB. Like, I think ADB might save this entire series.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next two books are gonna be really, really good.
I'm pumped.
I think it's not that I don't think Echo's. It's not Echo's Eternity. The End of the Death isn't gonna be good.
I'm nervous.
But I have a feeling
It's
they're
gonna be
just
so
dragging
drawn
it
out.
out.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's gonna be so drawn out. Like 3 books. I mean, man, we just read Saturnine. Is that Dan? Dan did Saturnine, right?
Yes.
And it was so dragged out. It was so much.
Yeah.
And after reading Mortis, which was even more dragged out, I'm like, oh God, what are they pushing here? What are they pushing? And I have under good confidence that another character winds up in a desert.
Oh boy, I can't wait for more desert walking.
Yeah. A little nervous
That's
about
my
it.
favorite part.
I also have been told about a potential character death that I was not anticipating.
Was it from Trainwreck?
No, it was from an online site on
Oh, okay,
accident.
because I fully expect Trainwreck to be like, oh yeah, that. Have you got to this part yet? It's like, dude, that character's not even in my fucking book.
What's what really killed me was like I looked online when they announced that like, oh hey, there's gonna be a volume 3. I looked online, I was like, why the fuck is there gonna be a volume 3? And people were speculating like technically they could extend this storyline. I was like, oh, I didn't know that happened. So I'm interested to see where that goes. 5 books left though. We're so close.
We
Five
are
books.
so close, and apparently the newest one's released in February,
January, February. Yeah, I thought, yeah, pretty early on next year, which I'm pumped
which
about.
might might work out for us.
Yeah, we might be able to
And
finish.
then they'll announce volume 4 and we cry.
I I might give up.
I gave up a long time ago. But that's why it takes me 3 years to read a book.
Volume 4, man, that would be rough. I'm excited for Warhawk. It's a big one. It's definitely not as big as Mortis. It's actually a relatively small one compared to the rest of Siege. 400, no, that's not even it. Yeah, 480 pages.
Not bad.
Nope, it's the afterword. No, I'm wrong. It's 470, 470
That's even
pages.
better.
Yeah, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. But that's it. That's Garro.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best
What was your
characters.
ranking? Or rating, I guess, not ranking.
Man, I'm honestly gonna give it like I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah, this is. I liked this more than most of the books we've read so far in the siege.
When I look at the short stories, like the short stories and the Lost and the Damned, I'm like, those are really the winners.
Yep, I
Uh,
agree.
Fury of Magnus was okay, but like Sons of Selenor and Garro, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This book doesn't do like a whole lot other than like finish like Garro's story, which
It's
I know,
important
but
though.
also I guess we didn't say it. Garro died,
Yeah, Garro dies.
which I'm fine with. This is a character death that I am happy where it ends. I mean, we
It
have
makes sense.
Mortarion killing him. It's supposed to represent the last of Mortarion's humanity.
Which makes sense actually. At the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Um, I I'm still disappointed by Mortarion's character in general.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a terrible character, terribly written character for sure.
Yeah,
No
he's
one owned him.
no, not really. Like James kind of did, and like that in Buried Dagger, but I don't think he did
Too
enough justice.
It was too late. Yeah, like
Yeah,
James focused way hard on Garro, and I think Mortarion's character took a hit from it.
yeah, I agree. But as far as my enjoyment for this book, probably like probably an 8.
An
I
8.
liked this book a lot. It was good. I enjoyed the conversations of Garro and Keeler. I enjoyed Garro just being like, "What the fuck happened to you, Mortarion? Like, you
Yeah, that
are
was
not
great.
like who like I followed." It also goes in like
Bro, shit's
parents
weird.
calling him a traitor. He's like, "No, I didn't betray shit. You're the fucking betrayer."
Yeah, bro, you're fucking flies, man. That's weird.
This whole thing's really fucking weird. Why did you try to make me drink poison?
Bro, you keep referring to granddaddy like that freaks me out, Mortarion.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
You got moth wings. Like Fulgrim and Angron have like cool ass wings, bro. Like I probably would have followed them. But you
Yeah.
got moth wings,
One's
dude.
a sexy snake. One, he just keeps coming back to life, and his only thing, all he wants to do is kill shit.
You look like a moth. I don't even know.
Ugly. But yeah, and that's it. Anything else you want to talk about with Garo?
No, I'm excited for Warhawk, the next chapter,
Same. I
and
have
on.
high expectations for Warhawk, which
I've heard
won't be a
amazing
bad thing.
things. I've heard amazing things.
Yep, same. And I mean, I love Chris Ray. I love the con. So I'm really expecting good things here. I'm curious on why we should have read Garo before this, because I feel like Garo didn't do a whole lot in this book.
I wonder if we get you Keeler. Keeler's a
Oh, yeah, I can maybe see Keeler, or maybe they talk about Garo's death, maybe.
maybe they talk about the slash in Mortarion's neck that Garro was able to deliver.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Like, it could be a subtle thing where it's like, yeah, it wasn't like necessary that we went out of order, but I'm fine doing that at this point. I just want a coherent story because holy fuck, we've had a lot of incoherent stories.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, and that's it for us then, guys. We'll be back next week with our preview of Warhawk. There's a good chance the next few books might be three-parters just because they're longer, and time is not what it used to be.
Yeah, I know. You used to not be married and you used to not have a kid or a house. Did we start this before you got married?
No.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah, I was like newlywed at that point.
That's right.
Yeah.
Still pretty wild.
Yeah, we've been running this for almost 3 years, dude.
Crazy.
3 years in December. That's nuts.
That
Can
is
you hear
pretty
my
nuts.
fucking dog barking right now?
No.
He's so
I just think
fucking
about like I can't wait to be done so I don't have to talk to you ever again.
Anyways, guys, hit us up on Discord. It's a good time. We have weekly movie nights. We have weekly hobby time. There's also a monthly book club of non-Warhammer books. Check it out. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. Check out our merch. We have all kinds of stuff. And Tentacus, we changed where we're at. We are with the Eye of Terror now. If you want to check them out, discord.gg/Eye of Terror. Uh, Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Oh, YouTube at the Heresy Lodge. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Have a good one, guys.